Family members continue to mourn tonight as police identify those killed in a shootout at a Metairie gun store. Officials also have a better idea of how the scene played out. Among those killed is the man suspected of starting the violence, 27-year-old Joshua Williams. Sources tell our partners at the Times-Picayune New Orleans Advocate that Williams walked into Jefferson Gun Outlet around 3 yesterday afternoon with a loaded weapon. He then got into an argument with employees who told him that having a loaded gun in the front of the store was against the rules. Officials say he shot and killed 47-year-old clerk Noah Fishback, and then staff and customers got involved in a gunfight. Williams and 59-year-old Veronica Abilio were also killed. Fishback's father spoke with us this afternoon. He said his son was just breaking into the film industry as a firearms expert before COVID hit.
He was just a great guy. I mean, he was just a great guy. Everybody loved him. There was no reason for this. This is like just such senseless violence.
We'll hear more from Fishback coming up tonight at 10.